unique New York. Yeah?
Yeah.
Psychedelic Experience, record run. Number 33. Mr. Lambert.
I'm loving the...
I'm gonna try and get it actually curled up next time. I don't think you're actually supposed to use toothpaste as mustache wax. But it doesn't say not to do it.
That's true.
That's what I'm...
In a pinch.
In a pinch. This is my southern character, the gentleman, Nathaniel T. Hobbs. T. Hobbs' last name, not T. Hobbs. My middle name is Franklin. I've got to get to some stuff here. Couple ones that I just have to shout out. From across the pond, he said,
yes.
Steve gave me these. Steve, I am totally ignorant to what original pressing labels would be for Elektra stuff. Either way, if this is a reissue or an original, that's so great. But the one you sent me is on what's a later Elektra label here in the US, but it might be original UK, I don't know. So I'll have to look into that. I didn't have a copy of 5,000 Spirits from the Incredible String Band before, so I'm incredibly grateful. Thank you, Steve. This is a cool one to have.
Very cool to have a UK copy.
Yeah, neat. And then he sent me the new reissue of the July album, and this one is on a crazy psychedelic disc there. So I have not put this on the turntable yet. I have to.
Blow your mind.
I'm looking forward to it. I have so much stuff to catch up on. I've been crazy busy with work. Those are so much appreciated. Thank you, good sir.
Alright, I am showing stuff from the March St. Louis Record Show. I know that it's April, and it was early March when it happened.
I went to New York on the 1st, and I still haven't shown
those. Yeah, that's very true. Alright, so let's just jump into these. I showed 2 in my last video. The next 2 I'm going to show are from the same dealer, so they were $4 a piece.
Nice.
Did not own a copy of Goat's Head Soup by the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
I kind of like this album.
Yeah,
it's
I
raunchy
kinda like
rock
it
and
too.
roll from the
Yeah.
Stones, man. It embodies what I think of when I think of Jagger and Richards. It's pretty cool.
Early to mid 70s Stones.
Yeah. This is a German copy.
Oh, that's cool.
It's on the Rolling Stones label,
Yeah.
but it's German. Great condition. Has the inserts.
Oh, I don't
Goat's
have those.
Head
That's
Soup
cool.
insert. And the players on the album, as well as the songs and credits, etc. So pretty cool. A great condition copy for $4. Oh, that sounds fantastic.
They make good stuff in Germany.
They do indeed. This is fun.
My parents called me up a month and a half ago. Hey, we found a whole bunch of records in the attic. We don't know whose they are. What? Yeah, I have no idea. Well, I mean, I'll take a look at them, all right. They brought 2 shopping bags full of records, and I was like, whoa! Admittedly, most of it gonna end up in the trade pile, but there were some things that were at least worth taking a second look at. So this one is only half neat.
Yeah.
It's Zager and Evans and others early recordings of, the early writings of Zager and Evans. It's on the White Whale label. It's a really clean copy of it. The first half is just couldn't be more straight. And it's not even pop. It's like tunes, like early '60s song smithing. The second half is J.K. and Company stuff, which this guy loves. I liked it, but it was one of those things where I was like, no, I know I'm never gonna listen to half of it. So it's weird.
Exactly.
I don't know what to do with this record yet, but if anybody out there sees this one and is just like, oh, that's one I have to have, I would be willing to offer some trade or something, because I want somebody who wants this record to have it, and I'm never gonna listen to half of it. But if you want it, we'll work something out. Let me know.
Another $4 holler. This was sealed, so I cracked the seal on this. This is Noah, self-titled. This is one that I've been tempted on numerous occasions to pick up at $10. Held out for the $4 copy. There's only like 2 or 3 tracks on YouTube. This is kind of a hard one to search and check out. It's on RCA, the orange label there. It's pop. It's very, very poppy. A couple tracks get a little bit psychish, pop psych. Sleep, Sleep. I want to say Antique Lady, Sweet for an Antique Lady. Those might be the 2 other psych tracks. But overall, enjoyable. I'm really glad I paid $4 for this and not 10 or 15.
Sure.
enjoyable.
Till lights keep flashing, spelling them out.
Whoever this person was, and my parents, seriously, they're like, we have no idea whose records these were.
That's so strange.
I know, right? In their attic. They were a big collector of both Johnny Rivers and Harry Nilsson.
Oh, cool.
But this is Pussycats, the one that John Lennon produced. It's in pretty good shape, and I haven't had a chance to put it on the turntable yet, but original pressing.
Nice.
Yeah, it's got the, nothing terribly special about the label, but it does have the original inner sleeve and things like that. It's on the RCA label, so
nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know what else to say about it. I got to put it on the turntable. Yeah, this person liked Nielsen a lot, so more Nielsen coming from me.
Got this from Michael. I got the remains from, and you got Simon Path from. Usually has interesting stuff. This caught my eye just on the cover, and it's on the ABC label. This is Goliath, self-titled. There's the gatefold, kind of a cool psychedelic.
You're loving the yellow and pink as of late.
I am, yeah. That's my
your go-to.
Yeah, I don't know what you'd call it. This is okay. It's not great. I was expecting like bluesy psych or something like that. It's more funk, soulful, mixed with like a vanilla fudge organ type sound. It's different. I don't know, there's not much I can compare it to, and like comparing it to vanilla fudge, for most people can be like, ugh, vanilla fudge.
A poor man's vanilla fudge.
Yeah, exactly. But it's more enjoyable to me than vanilla fudge, and it's a little more soft. I don't want to say soft rock, but it's got kind of a more mellow sound to it while still being kind of funky and soulful, with lots and lots of organ on it. Again, kind of another average, middle of the road 60s artifact. But I can't turn him down, man.
Dr. West. Norman Greenbaum with Dr. West Medicine Show and Junk Band. And it's on Gregor Records. So I want to point out, the stuff that I did save is largely in very good shape. Not everything was in good shape, so there were some things, like I said, the other Nielsen I had to get rid of. But it was interesting that the stuff that was savable was in remarkably good shape.
Nice.
Average price on this one is like $7.
Nice.
I put a couple average price stickers up here. I don't necessarily mean I'm going to sell them all, but if somebody wanted to offer me average price for some of these, I'd probably hop on it.
Nice.
That one I might keep though.
Yeah.
Around, she just frowned and said, for goodness sake, I don't smoke.
Here's one. I love the front cover of this. Thornshield. It's on Philips. The bag.
Oh, stab me in the heart.
Yeah, not necessarily a rookie mistake. I saw the front cover and was like, oh, that looks really clean. It was $5. And I'm talking to the seller, back corner guys as we call them. Very nice guys.
Real nice guys.
And I had not looked at the back. And I just was like, this is the only album I was getting from him, so I was handing my money over and he was like, whoa, did you check the back? Which I appreciate so much. He did not have to do that. That's my responsibility to check.
Oh
as
yeah,
far as I'm
absolutely.
concerned. But the album is normally a $20 or so album, so for $5 I can't complain getting a really nice clean vinyl.
Yeah,
copy.
I mean you get the good record. Yeah, that's good.
And the album overall, again, another one of those that's not great. Like, I think the cover looks cooler than the music within. It's pop psych, more on the pop side, less on the psych side, but again in kind of that mellow, softer vein. So it's not sunshiny, it's not anything like that, it's just kind of moody, mellow pop with some psychedelic elements, which I like a lot. I like that stuff.
I got so much on my mind that I want you to hear.
Nielsen. Spotlight on Nielsen. So this is some of his stuff with the New Salvation Singers, actually. And it's on an original brownish orange, whatever that color is, Tower label. Average price on this one was like $18, and the disc is in really good shape. It's a tiny little bit of surface noise, but this looks like it. I mean, again, these were in my parents' attic, and no one had ever taken the effort to take care of these. But just other than a tiny little bit of ring wear, this is average price for this being $18. This is above average, certainly.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah, that one. There's some good stuff on there though. Yeah. So again, I don't really know what I'm going to do with it.
My favorite sellers at the show, Green Tub Guy. I only had like $20 left at this point. He has a couple things that I was like, oh, I wish I had more money. He had the Leaves, Hey Joe album, one other, the Pretty Things debut, and he was asking very fair prices on them, but they were just a little too out of my price range for what I had left. So I popped on this. He had it marked at 20, gave it to me for 15. This is the Hard Times Blue Mind. Love the cover, a very psychedelic cover. The music is not psych, it's like folk pop. The last track, Blue Mind, the title track, is the only thing that I would call psychedelic. There's some like discordant voices and things like that going on, and it's very moody. And it's overall, this is kind of a moody folk pop album. There's a couple that are a little sunshiny folky pop, reminding me a lot of the Byrds' earlier material, pre-psychedelic, not country rock, but that kind of jangly folk pop.
That's good stuff.
Pretty enjoyable album.
Cool.
So, yeah.
I am gonna hold on to the Groupies. It is this like reflective, you can tell it's a little bit sexy there. I have yet to put this on, but it's apparently, look at that freaking label
awesome.
though. That's the Earth label. I have to keep this as an artifact because of the quote groupie glossary on the back. I would assume
so cool.
These are terms that are used in it so people can get hip with the scene.
Yeah.
But oh gosh.
I love it. Kinky, attractively weird, randy, horny, comma, sexually obsessed.
All right, hang on the wall. Wait around a rock club for the action.
Oh boy, there's a lot of interesting things.
There's
out
no
here.
way I'm getting rid of this.
No,
this is an artifact,
And
my
what's
friend.
cool is that would go right next to the GTOs on the shelf. I think in the way it
It would.
alphabetically.
It would.
So,
Artifact-wise, this is not leaving the collection. This is a fun one.
And every 2 weeks they changed groups. And every 2 weeks we had a new boyfriend.
appearing on the Nuggets compilation, the Third Rail with their track Run Run Run, the opening track off of id Music. Was very excited to find this. I got this for 15 bucks. It's fun. It's garage pop, man. It is garagey pop. Little psychedelic, more just straight garage pop. So it would be on, I think it is on the Nuggets pop comp, but it is on the original Nuggets 2 LP set as well. So cool stuff here. I'm really pleased with this. You just don't come across this very often, and it's pretty clean considering, you know, notwithstanding the coverware in the front there. But yeah, this was one of the better finds. One I was like, oh, I liked that. You know, it was like, oh, it wasn't okay. It was, this is good. This is fun.
As I blink my eyes.
This is another one. Don't know if I'm gonna keep it. Fresh out of Borstal.
Oh yes, yeah.
There's some good stuff on this. It's certainly not psych. It leans more towards hard rock. There are definitely psych influences, and I guess the narrative, I have no idea if this is real or not, but based on the front cover and what it says on the back about Borstals being what they call youth prisons in the UK, and then these guys' photos, like mugshots and stuff. Largely the lyrical content is about being in jail, so the track Borstal is about the experience of being in one of these UK youth prisons and how exploitive they are of the youth in them and things like that. I would say it's mixed, good and bad. It's certainly not one you're just like, oh, everything on there's great. But it's certainly, again, an interesting artifact. So that's what a lot of these ended up being.
It's very cool. Is it kind of British blues, or is it
It's
just art rock?
bluesy, but there's some psych drum elements.
Yeah.
It's harder though. Yeah, definitely.
She will pray to God for something.
I've gotten to know a guy named Greg at the record show pretty good over the last year. Cool guy. He used to live in San Francisco, so he's got some really cool stuff that he found living there out in the 70s and stuff that he found at garage sales. And he happened to bring a box in of stuff this time. Told me this was in it. I didn't have a copy and got it for $8. This is the Nickel Bag, not Nickelback. Well, this is the Nickel Bag doing their love thing. This is so interesting. This is on Kama Sutra.
Nice.
Which I right away is like,
You're
oh,
like,
cool.
oh, I'm down.
The back credits the following as songwriters: Elizabeth Browning, William Shakespeare, Emily Bronte, Rudyard Kipling. All the words are from poetry from classic literature, set to crazy, weird, psych, avant-garde art rock.
Oh, I want this one too.
Awesome. There's a lot of fuzz guitar on here. There's a lot of weird psych elements going on. There's some pop going on. Love it. Highly, highly recommend this. If you hate it, I'm sorry, but know the concept going in. Oh, it's so good.
This one I really like. There are a couple of, I would assume, rarer fusion jazz LPs in there. This one is George Duke, Faces in Reflection. And you look at that and you're like, oh, that's a super jazzy cover.
Yeah.
But on the back, those dudes are BAs, man. Those are guys I want to hang out with.
Love those African masks on the front.
Yes.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's neat looking, and it's interesting. This is hard fusion jazz.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's, again, it's not one of those things where I could pick a track out because it's jazz.
Sure,
But this label, the MPS, but this is a rare label to find, and from what I can tell, average price on Discogs for this record is 24 bucks. This one, I might sell just because it is a little pricier, but I do like it. I do like it.
Love the track name on track 4, Psychosomatic Dung.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's. I'll tell you what. This is one worth a listen for you. You should digitize this.
Awesome.
All right.
We'll do, man.
Yeah.
And last one. This is the Nickelback was almost my favorite of the show. Until I put this on. This is Kaleidoscope Bernice, the same Kaleidoscope that did Side Trips, Beacon from Mars. This is different than those two albums though. This is less psychedelic, more country rock. Okay, so the Hard Times reminded me of Early Birds. This reminded me of Later Birds.
Sweetheart
of the Rodeo era, Graham Parsons, Flying Burrito Brothers, that kind of material.
Oh, good stuff.
Yes. Oh, but with the exception of one track, Lulu Arfin Nanny. That's kind of an out-and-out psychedelic track. And then New Blue Ooze, the closing track, is a cool kind of bluesy jam track. It's like 9.5 minutes long. A couple of tracks do get a little bit harder, but they're all in that sort of country rock jam kind of sound. Yeah, if you appreciate Sweetheart of the Rodeo or Grievous Angel or something like that, give this one a whirl. These guys are mega talented. They had two of the greatest psychedelic albums of the era, and this is a cool bridge between that psychedelic era merging into the Laurel Canyon scene.
And this last one that I'm going to show is another one. I feel like I keep saying, like, I don't know if I want to sell it or not. Again, it was such a weird thing to get these records dropped off to me, including a sealed original pressing of Bob Dylan's Planet Waves. This is in the shrink wrap. There's a little bit of discoloration up here where it was a corner cut, but other than that, this is in mint condition.
That's very
cool.
I'm
compelled to list it just because I know I can pick up a copy of this in better than good, maybe even possibly close to great condition for all of $7 somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Like to be like, oh yes. So why would I care about it being sealed if I want to? I don't know. It's just like, I'm torn. If I break this seal, it immediately loses value.
Sure.
And yet it's just sitting around, and it's a Dylan record that at this point I have not been compelled to listen to over and over again.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with it.
Forever
So some, I think, eclectic finds from us.
Yeah.
Some interesting finds from us. Some stuff that's trade bait if you want it. So if you saw anything that you have to have and you've got some stuff you think I might be interested in, I'm totally open to trade for some of that stuff. So just let me know, make a comment down below. And so, yeah. Well, we'll be back with another one of these, and I'm looking forward to it.
I am too.
We've had a great year so far.
It's been fun.
Good quarter of a year so far. We'll be back again. Until then, avoid scratches and stay in the groove.